So here I am, and as you can see, I did start building the printer that I showed in my last video. This is kind of the mashup of a couple of Voron printers, Snakeoil XY, Tiny M, just a bunch of printers that I saw things I liked and kind of copied and made my own. And I think I had mentioned I was thinking about getting that Bambu Labs X1 Carbon. I actually had pledged the Kickstarter, but a couple days before it went live, or before they I guess took all the orders, I canceled. I did drop out of it, mostly because a couple things. One, because of obviously this printer that I had already bought extrusions for and some parts, was already a couple $100 into it. And then also reading about the Bambu Labs X1, I think there's still a few things that the printer doesn't have that I would expect in a printer like that, like TMC drivers for more silent printing, and the closed ecosystem. For the other open source printers, everyone's always doing upgrades, and those are always freely available, and there's always constant movement on stuff like that. But with a closed printer, the only way I think you're going to be able to do upgrades is if they're initiated by Bambu Labs. And that's kind of the other thing that led me to not get on the Kickstarter right now, is because I do think that they're going to improve this printer and come out with like a new and improved version maybe 6 months down the road or a year down the road, and they're going to kind of fix all these little issues that they're going to find out during this first run of printers, because the people who ordered these, they just started shipping in July, actually a few days ago. They're just barely starting to get them, and they're going to find out basically all the bugs that this printer has, or any kind of weird quirks about the printer. And eventually Bambu Labs, I think, will update those or revise some parts and kind of make the printer even better than it is right now. And at that point, then I'll think about jumping on it and getting one of those. But for now, I think I'm going to stick to my plan. I'm going to build this printer. It's basically it's a Voron V0 motion system that's been kind of grown up to a 2020 extrusion platform, where the V0 is a 15 by 15, the little tiny extrusions. So this is basically kind of scaled up to 2020. It's got a 3 Z-axis bed, sort of like the Trident, but I took kind of like the belted drive idea from a printer called the Snakeoil XY, and then kind of modified that a little bit. So it's kind of a fusion between the Trident and the Snakeoil XY as far as the Z-axis goes. And then I'm just kind of doing the basics on the controller with a BTT Octopus, the 1.1 version, with of course Raspberry Pi and Clipper. So in this video, you can see I got most of the printer together as far as the motion system. The Z-axis is on. I've got the Toolhead on there. Basically, the mechanical part is pretty much done, and I'm just about to tackle the electronics, which is the most daunting part. I don't know if it's daunting, but it takes the most time. The wiring isn't so bad if you got the right tools, which now I do have. But then configuring the software can sometimes take a while, depending on your machine. Like if you just build like something like a Voron, from right by the book, exactly what's on the what they give you, and you use their configuration file, you're ready to go. But because I've done a lot of little tweaks and little changes, it's going to take a little while to kind of figure out what parts of the configurations I need for the multiple printers to get it to work. So that will probably take me a little while, but actually at the posting of this video, I've actually got a lot of that done. So I will show that in the next video, hopefully pretty soon. Until then, here are a few teasers.